Hello again. So this is Neil from Caribbean Tools and Equipment Limited. Today we are going to do a demonstration on a MAN TGX 2020 and above truck using a Jaltest diagnostic tool. So the first thing you want to do, you want to select trucks and you want to search for the MAN software, and we're going to search for a TGX 2020 and above, and we're going to scan the engine system. So a lot of TGS comes with a EDC7 ECU. So we want to know where the connector is located on the truck, the diagnostic port, that is. So good thing with Jaltest, Jaltest shows you the location of the diagnostic port on the truck, and it's a 16-pin connector. So once we have connected our tool to the truck, we hit connect. And then we go and read fault codes. And this truck has a lot of fault codes. So once it is red, a red X indicates an active fault code. So we will just select one. Let's select the last one here, injector rail pressure loss in thrust condition. Once again, this I tells you the time and the date of the fault code. All right, it's happened in 2017. The question mark gives you further information about the fault code. So possible fault code causes fuel leakage in the high pressure circuit, lack of sealing in the pressure limiting valve, or in the injector rail, and defective fuel pump. If you want to go a little bit more in depth, select this wrench sign. All right. And this will give you step-by-step procedure of how to troubleshoot the fault. So the first step here, correct these fault codes. Second step, check the performance of the injectors, and it will tell you how to go about doing that. Third step, check the fuel return. It will tell you how to go about doing that. Fourth step, go right down to eighth step. All right. So good thing about Jaltest is that its repair information is pretty much robust. System technical data. So this will give you information about all the different components and so on, and the values and so on. So if you go to wiring diagrams here now, right? So this will give you a demonstration of the wiring diagram itself. And all the different components pertaining to that fault code. All right. And all the electricals as well. So if you go back to the diagnostic menu, and you go back to the question mark, all right. So the issue is happening with the fuel injector. So, so it's either the fuel injector, it's either the wiring harness, or it could be the ECU itself. So you have to check. And as usual, our Our first line of defense we usually check is the wiring harness to make sure that we have no broken wires and things like that. Then we check the component itself. We replace it with probably a good known component. And then if after we've replaced that, the issue is still happening, then we probably could look at the ECU itself. All right. You could clear the fault code, system data will tell you information about the ECU and so on. Measurements. We have regular measurements, digital, or what we call engine data and so on in digital format. System display will give you a nice diagram of the entire fuel system. It just show how fuel is transmitted from the tank to the high pressure pump and to the injector rail. If you have a loss of pressure or anything here, you should be able to see it from here. All right. You have other things like engine RPM monitoring and so on. Cylinder balance and so on. Maintenance, cancellation of values after changing the soot filter, reset of MIL, and torque limitations and so on, reset correction factors, OBD, fault code, reset. System checks, cylinder combustion check, accelerator pedal and so on, cylinder cutout, EGR test and so on. So I hope that this video was helpful. This was just a brief demonstration of Jaltest on a MAN TGX 2020 and above. Stay tuned as we release further videos on MAN trucks using a Jaltest kit. And as usual, folks, if you're interested in purchasing a Jaltest kit, feel free to give us a call. That's 1-868-684-5631 or Google Caribbean Tools and Equipment Limited. Send us a message and we'll be more than happy to get you started. Until our next video,